토르센, 황명에 따라 수도로 복귀하십시오.
방어구 링크 연결. 시리얼 넘버 확인. 성소 활성화.
Project 150 is an open-world, massively multiplayer online third-person shooter video game developed and published by NCSOFT. Pussy. Open world, massively multiplayer online shooter. Project 150 is set in a post-apocalyptic future, one where the country of South Korea is overrun by mercenaries fitted with all sorts of high-tech gadgets and mechs that seem to oppress the denizens of this land. NCSoft's upcoming action-adventure also takes place in an alternative history which combines its sci-fi premise with lore elements from the 10th century, which can be seen in certain enemy designs. You take on the role of a soldier, one who takes the fight back to these tyrants with an effort to drive them out of this place. It seems that you might be a member of a rebel group, though we can't confirm these story elements since the trailer uses Korean as its language and there are no supporting subtitles as well. That said, NCSoft has stated in an interview that it plans to deliver a story that puts its characters at the front and center, and we can't wait to see that come to life with the final release. Project 150 is a third-person shooter, and most of your time will be spent carrying out high-stakes missions throughout the futuristic city of Seoul. The trailer opens up with the player character donning a cape on his back as he makes his way through what seems to be an underground network of tunnels. Unlike most MMOs, Project 150 actually has some stealth options, and you can use your drone companion to scout ahead, which will reveal the location of enemies through walls. You could try to take the easy way out by sneaking through gaps, or you could try to engage, and from the looks of things, sometimes the former might be the most feasible option of the two. But when swords do eventually clash, Project 150 completely transforms into a fast-paced shooter where you must make your moves quickly and switch between different tactics on the fly to get through combat encounters. The weapons have minimal recoil, allowing you to spray bullets towards your enemies with relative ease. Enemies seem to have a massive health bar, so you will have to keep chipping away at those shields while dancing around the battlefield. You can play MMOs for hours at a time while improving your avatar, leveling up, and gathering better equipment and weaponry to face even more difficult tasks. You can join new worlds with characters that are controlled by people just like you if you put all of your efforts into the seemingly endless video games. And the next MMO Project 150 game will use a comparable system. 2 new clips for Project 150 and an interview with Bae Hyun, the game's project manager, were released by NCSoft, the acclaimed Blade and Soul Games developer, and fresh details about the game suggest that it will be an open-world, sci-fi third-person shooter MMO title when it launches. Although Project 150's release date is still some time off, the developer has given us access to nearly 10 minutes of playtime. An open-world MMO shooter called Project 150 is in the works. It will heavily rely on motion capture, according to the development team. The game simulates the feeling of striking your target by adding a unique tension to the character and enemy motions. Players will be able to travel through a sizable environment that is populated by monsters, troops, and war robots. The alternate past featured in the NCSOFT's Project 150 game, which is set in Seoul, South Korea, was influenced by Total Recall, Blade Runner, and The Man in the High Castle. Project 150 is also set to feature a massive open world that will span over 30 kilometers of virtual space that players would explore on their own will. The developer has already confirmed that a decent chunk of that landmass is being created through procedural generation, but the content that players will be able to do in these areas will be curated by another algorithm that reacts to a player's situation accordingly. Hopefully, it does not fall prey to the cookie-cutter design model that so many MMOs and live service games have adopted in recent years. On that note, we also don't know what vehicles players will be able to drive to get from one end of the map to the other, or if there would be vehicles at all, so a clarification on these matters is certainly due at the moment. Following the reveal of the gameplay, the developer declared that Project 150 production has officially just begun, implying that fans may need to patiently wait before playing this forthcoming game. Project 150's release date is yet unknown, and given how long it takes to make a game, it might be years before players can explore the game's world. Therefore, one will have to wait and watch for more informed speculation on the publication of Project 150. A 2023 release seems unlikely given that this was only the first announcement of the game. A release window in the second half of 2024 may be a possibility, depending on the pace of development.
적 전투 머신이 감지되었습니다. 모델명 M131 라바저. 목표 지점을 확보했습니다. 해킹 시퀀스 가동합니다. 암호화 연속 신호 해독 중입니다. 원격 운용 폭탄 신호가 감지되었습니다. 적 기체를 분석합니다. 잠금 해제 프로토콜 확인. 접근 중인 전투 머신이 감지되었습니다.